Ryan.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. Love that intro. Appreciate you growling and prowling out there with us, folks. And right now, we got this market growling and prowling. Quite the surge higher from yesterday's lows. We picked things up in positive territory across the board. S&Ps up by 23 points, or about 1/3%, trading at 69.89. You get the NASDAQ 100. Now, we'll jump over to Taiwan Semi. Whew. And then you got to deal with Taiwan. You get the company out with their numbers. All right, why not? We jump over. TSM, man, this thing's putting a bid in those chip stocks. Look at this, up by 5.1%. Okay, you jump over to almost any of them. Clack up 8.3%. Okay, was it AMAT, I believe? Yeah, up 7.1%. Lam Research up 5.2%. So we'll jump over to it in a moment. But Taiwan Semiconductor, 35% year-over-year growth, and the chip stocks accelerate higher. We're giving back some of those gains. The Dow is participating as well, though, and the Russell is actually leading the way. The Dow is up by 0.6%. That's your high out there on Tuesday. All-time high, 49,901. You get within about 100 points of that price level. We're trading right now up 0.6, up 323 points. And the Russell, as I mentioned, hits 2,700 for the first time ever. 2697. You're talking about a run from 1,700. What's the low there? 1,709. So 5 points away from a 1,000-point rally in the Russell from the April lows. Whew. Jump over to yields right now. So we'll jump over to jobless claims today. Jobless claims come in 198,000. Haven't been under 200,000 on many occasions. 198,000 jobless claims this morning. We got lower price, higher yield. Okay, there's that 830 volatility on that number. We were at about 112.14 coming into that number. You had some volatility in the overnight as always. But yeah, we got lower price, higher yield. As in if jobless claims are under 200,000, maybe they're not going to cut, at least until Powell's out. That's what the market thinks right now. And the dollar, on higher yield, you catch a bid to 99.49, and we're trading at 99.31 right now. Gold off $23, but holding up well with a strong dollar at 46.12. And silver is the story again, folks. How about it? 91.77, and as I mentioned in the top of the hour update there, silver just traded up more than $5 intraday. $5. Yesterday, you trade $8 down. We're $5 up today. And don't be surprised, folks, if you wake up and silver's down $8 tomorrow. Don't be surprised if you wake up and it's up $8 right now. It's trading with extreme volatility that's dislocating a bit, and that is an indication of them. When things get parabolic, you start getting these wild moves at the top when nobody can really figure out, and your people are getting squeezed, right? You got short squeezes going on for sure. And meanwhile, the margins are going to go up, okay? Every time the margins go up, it makes it more difficult to remain ultra leveraged. And in general, folks, those futures margins, they allow you an extreme amount of leverage when you look at the size of the actual position that you are purchasing. And I'll pull it up again. We pulled them up last time. And all it is the initial margin is going up for an asset that is increasing in price. Think about it like that, right? I mean, every day a stock goes up, the initial margin goes up the next day. Imagine if Amazon goes up $1, the next day they're like, they raised the margins on Amazon. It goes up another $1. They raised the initial margin. Of course they did. You're controlling a more valuable asset. They're going to require more money up front. And it goes even more than that. When you're getting these types of swings, you should be putting up even more percentage-wise. Because guess what? Silver right now is moving 10% like it's nothing. Well, 10% in gold would be $461, okay? And meanwhile, silver is basically pushing those price limits. So, hey, nothing like volatility can be a trader's best friend, but keep those trades fast. And we got decent volume on this rebound as well. Look at this bar. Rejecting lower price, and we're going to do it with volume. Slightly off the highs, but that is some strength, man. Rejecting those lows with volume for silver. Platinum up 1.25%, up $30 at $24.15. And I've been talking about copper, giving back some of the gains today, but copper, man, you know, on a weekly, that was quite a week last week, okay? You get above the highs of July, you do it with volume, maybe we get a test of that area, but as I mentioned as well, Southern Copper, look at that weekly. Look at the volume in these 2 weeks. It's only Thursday. This is how you like to see a market break away, and you say, yeah, well, am I going to buy this thing at 182 when we were just trading at $76? Well, no, you don't have to do that. But at least this is where we have a breakout. Okay, you accelerate. We're there on lighter volume. And ideally, you come back, you test the breakout. 150, you're at 182. It's almost a 20% pullback, but we are going to get a pullback in metals at some point. And yeah, that's Southern Copper and Freeport-McMoRan. As I mentioned this morning, they had some problems. They had tragedy at their, I think it's Grasberg mine in September. They had miners, I think eight or nine miners, and tragedy going on there. That mine just completely stopping until somewhere in 2026. But yeah, look at the strength we had the week of January 5th, and this week we're doing volume as well. But Southern Copper, man, that volume. All right, we check out some of the banks. So JP Morgan, Bank of America, and Citi, disappointing. But guess what? Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, delivering. Goldman Sachs, how about this rally? Up by $43, up 4.6%. Now, Goldman's in the Dow, okay? That's going to be a big reason. I mean, this price-weighted index, there it is, the brightest of greens in the Dow. You're $1,000 equity, and right now you have Goldman Sachs up $43, okay? Well, if you look at the Dow, folks, you got a company like Verizon that only trades in an entire price of $40. Verizon's market cap, $166 billion. Goldman, $292 billion. Meanwhile, Goldman trades up $43 today. Verizon would have to be 100%. So, hey, Dow catching a bid today. Goldman up by 4.6. Morgan Stanley up by 6%. We got a bad tick there, but check it out right out of the gate from about 181 to 191.70. And BlackRock, 6.2%, man. Hoo-wee. 1158. We got all-time highs at 1219 out here from October before quite the aggressive pullback. Get some selling at the lows here in November. Something to watch. On a weekly, check out the daily. Yeah, it's always the options expiration that sticks out there. But hey, that's a nice way to break. You're going to be breaking above. Look at this. That's tough to do. You're going to break above. I mean, you do it on an earnings day, so that's how you do it. But yeah, we're going to trade 1 million shares today. That's going to be the most since you had quad witching on December 19th. BlackRock up by 6.1%. Stay tuned, folks. Coming right back.